Welcome back. In today's video, we're going to be exploring the Solana ecosystem and understanding, is Solana a good investment? Is this a millionaire maker coin? And I am not going to make the same mistakes that we made in this last cycle. I was wrong about Solana. I told my viewers, and I still stand by this, that Solana is built by and for the billionaires. I've been saying this for years now. I still stand by that. But that is actually a positive for the chain, as we've seen over the last 6 months before the halving of 2024, right? From October of 2023 until March of 2024, we saw Solana go from $8, literally $8, all the way up to $200. Now, it didn't reach its all-time record high of $250, but I mean, it went pretty damn close. You can see this huge run up from $8. And listen, I stand by those comments because I still believe much of what I said to be true. Solana was pushed by FTX, and obviously when we saw FTX fail, we saw Solana, drop precipitously down to that $8 mark. But while I was bearish on Solana, that was probably the time that I should have been buying Solana, but it was too much of a risk at the time because we didn't know were investors still interested in Solana? Were they dumping it? That's why it went down to $8. Like, what was the status of Solana? And then we saw Solana continue to have congestion issues through the bear market, continue to have developers exiting the ecosystem. But little did we know, there was a lot of building going on. And even though the Solana network has gone down over and over and over and over, it doesn't seem to matter because the long-term venture capital investors who've been in since the ICO at maybe 25 cents or 50 cents, they're still holding their bags. And so let's get right into today's topic. Is Solana investable in 2024? Don't forget to give this video a free thumbs up. We upload every single day of the year to bring you the latest happening in the financial world. So hit that subscribe button. Half of my viewers are not subscribed to my channel. You guys watch every day and never click that subscribe button, and that really hurts. So please hit the subscribe button. Give the video a thumbs up. Check out my other videos on the channel. We upload every single day. And remember, nothing I say is financial advice. These are just my opinions. I could be wrong about anything and everything that I say, including Solana, which I obviously was wrong about previously. Because I've never held Solana, ever, since it launched, never held Solana. But this pre-halving run-up that we've seen from about, the $8, $9, $10 range all the way up to $200, right? A 20x effectively. This is an indicator of what is going to be happening this cycle with Solana. This is an indicator of where the venture capitalists are. And again, the network goes down over and over and nobody seems to care. And instead of continuing to harp on the point that nobody seems to care, why does nobody seem to care? Well, a lot of it is because the reason Solana goes down is because of congestion. And congestion comes from usage and from demand for the blockchain to compute. So if the blockchain can't keep up with it, that's an indicator to the developers that they need to either increase the block size, change the hardware needed to validate that they need to upgrade. That's the bottom line. And that is exactly what they're doing. Right at the beginning of 2024, Solana Foundation claimed the ongoing network congestion could be attributed to high demand for Solana block space and increased network activity. And so their upgrade aims to resolve these congestion issues. Right. And so, the patch contains enhancements that will help some of the ongoing network congestion. The current version will help improve the network congestion and issues with the open interest jump. And some of these key upgrades are here. You could read them on the screen if you want. We're not going to go through all of them individually, but you guys kind of get the point. It doesn't matter. Solana keeps going down. You know why? Because the billionaires are holding the coin and the network is being used and there's a lot of development on the network. And while I was so worried about the price not going up, I literally missed the whole cycle of the fact that when the network was going down and nobody seemed to care and the price didn't move, that was an indicator that there was a lot of development going on behind the scenes and that large holders were holding on because they believed the same thing. They believe that there's a lot coming in. And by the way, the network metrics show this. Transactions all time on the Solana network is 283 billion total transactions. Just to give you guys a little bit of context, Cardano, when I'm recording this video, has about 80 million transactions lifetime. And Solana is showing 283 billion lifetime, which is like a 400x of what Cardano has. Transactions per second in the last 1 hour from when I'm recording this video in the middle of April 2024, 2,619 transactions per second. This is live. Again, we look at other blockchains, 10, 3, 5 transactions per second. And so Solana can handle a lot already. And the fact that it's going down says that there's even more. And by the way, there's other blockchains that have never even proven that they can get anywhere close to these numbers. Internet Computer is another great example of a blockchain that has very, very fast transaction throughput, actually double this number, about 5,000 transactions per second in live action. And they're widely ready to, implement AI compute data on the Internet Computer. I mean, it's already live on the Internet Computer. And I would not sleep on Solana having AI capabilities very shortly. And so the fact that the VCs know where the markets and the narratives are going, and they understand where AI is, and they understand the AI narrative, for me to believe that Solana doesn't have an AI narrative on the way would be foolish. They're probably working on something that they're going to release at some point during this cycle, potentially. Again, this is all speculation. I could be wrong about it. But, this is what I'm kind of thinking. Why would they not? Why would the venture capitalists not implement any AI compute or AI technologies into the Solana blockchain? This would instantly add to the narrative of Solana. And so, yeah, I mean, from a validator decentralization perspective, there's 1,800 validators. While this is still fairly small, I mean, if you look at other networks, there's, 5 times this. I would say it's adequate, right? But again, it probably needs more. And that will come as there's more usage and more tokenomic understanding of how the tokenomics work, how if you become a validator, how you make money. And also in a bull market, more people are willing to become validators because the price of the reward is much higher. Anyway, there's been a lot of conversation about the success or failure rate of the Solana ecosystem. It's showing over the last 7 days. I mean, let's pull up the last 3 months. It looks like on average, it's around the 80% mark. And so a lot of people would say, well, that's not a very good success rate. That means 20% of transactions fail on a regular basis. But as we learned from the recent debacle, the fact that there are 20 to 25% transactions that fail, these are non-vote transactions. And so these are not like imminent transactions that need to go through. And also it could have to do with the fee structure of the block creation. But that's not really what we're talking about on this channel. We're really looking for general understanding of where the metrics are. Do they look healthy? Do they not look healthy? Transaction volume. Oh, this is what we just talked about, the transaction vote versus non-vote transactions. Active wallets. Let's pull this up all time so you guys can see on the all time. Huge growth in the active wallets. New token accounts. Let's pull that up on the all time. That's what looks like record lows. It says a wallet can have multiple token accounts. Don't really know what that means. Let's see, new NFTs, because we know the Solana ecosystem love themselves some NFTs. It's it's a little bit higher, but fairly stable since the last few years. And so, yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on in the Solana ecosystem. And I like to look at these charts and analyze, where are these ecosystems, like, what else is being used in Solana that could indicate that this is going much higher? Well, the stablecoin dashboard is super important because this shows the usage of stablecoins in Solana. As you guys know, I'm a big proponent of USDC usage within an ecosystem. If an ecosystem that has been around for a long time and is trying to align with the traditional finance, or at least integrate and tap in, they need to have USDC and or Tether. And you can see Solana has a huge quantity of both. USDC on chain, as I'm recording this video, 2.2, almost 2.3 billion dollars of USDC. And to put that in perspective, there's most of the cryptos in existence don't even have this kind of market cap. And Solana has this market cap just in USDC on the chain. And that accounts for slightly over 50% of all the stablecoin usage on the chain. And then you can see Tether coming in behind at 1.8 or 1.9 billion dollars. And so this is a huge number. This is a very big indicator. You can see here, unique holders of USDC on Solana is almost 5 million unique holders, right? And this is different. This is, I mean, less than half of what Tether has. So when I talk about on this channel with other ecosystems why USDC is important, and the ecosystem's like, no, Cryptoviser, we don't need we don't need USDC. It's like, okay, well, you're not going to do well. You're going to fail, right? And we are not part of failed coins. We are part of successful coins. And that's why we are exploring whether Solana is or is not investable in today's video. So far, I haven't seen any indication that Solana is not an investable asset. I mean, all the tokenomics that we're looking at match up. All of the integrations with Tether, USDC, with NFT usage and all of that, it all is lining up with, yeah, there is clear, consistent usage, consistent demand for these technologies. So, I mean, so far, I'm not seeing anything to say no. Now let's look at the fee tracker on Solana, because fees are super important because it indicates how much you're going to be paying per transaction, and also determines what the network validators are going to be paid. If a network validator is not profitable validating the network, they're going to stop validating the network, and then the network becomes less secure because there's less validators, right? So if we look at 24-hour transactions, there was 52 million 24-hour transactions. Now, again, Cardano, lifetime, has had about 80 million transactions. Solana, 52 million in 24 hours. I mean, that's pretty unbelievable. The 24-hour average fee was 0.0001. 0.0001. So yeah, the fees are basically nothing. Very, very low. And you can see that on the chart here. Over the last few weeks, we can see that the ratio of total transactions for total transaction fees is about 95%. So about a 5% fee overall. And so 5% rewards is not that bad, right? In terms of a fee. And then it has more data down here. It shows the total distribution of additional fees by transactions. Shows you how much Solana. And so, yeah, I mean, overall, the network looks solid. It really does. But we have to still understand more about the distribution of the Solana coins, because here's the deal. If all the coins are being held by venture capitalists, them dumping the coin and every holder is fucked, okay? Every holder. Because they are the whales. So if they dump even a portion of their coin, and it's a large percentage of the market cap, and there's not enough volume to absorb all of that sale, the price is going to plummet. And so you can see here the total distribution of coins. Now, we'll go to the current day in April of 2024, and you can see the top 10 holders account for 6.5% of all the Solana. The top 20 holders account for 11% of all the Solana. The top 50 holders account for 17.5% of the coin, sorry. And the top 100 holders, top 100 wallets, have over 20%, over 22% of all the Solana. That is a fairly high concentration. Now, again, I'm analyzing this at a very high level. If we wanted to dig a little bit deeper, maybe some of these are exchanges, so those wouldn't necessarily count. Some of these could be Solana Foundation. Those necessarily wouldn't count, because if you think about it, an exchange can have a very large quantity, but those are distributed among, thousands or millions of customers, right? And so those are not necessarily specific wallets. But if you look at the top 100 holders, this will give you a better understanding. 23% of the top 100 wallets, 23% of all the supply is in the top 100 wallets, if I'm reading that correct. Maybe I'm not, but you guys kind of get the point. Anyway, we also have to understand where Solana staking rewards kind of match up when we're talking about staking. Now, if we look at stakingrewards.com, and by the way, if you're up to this point in the video, don't forget to give the video a free thumbs up. Also, hit that subscribe button. 50% of you guys who watch my videos are not even subscribed, and that really hurts when I see that. So help a brother out. Click that subscribe button. Turn on notifications. Give the video a thumbs up. Anyway. So on Solana, you can see that there's about 7.3% rewards Now, this is the average reward rate over the last whatever amount of days. Now, Solana is the second largest staking ecosystem in crypto. You can see Ethereum by market cap has about $100 billion of Ethereum, about 40% of their supply. Solana, on the other hand, has $52 billion. It's a very large percentage of the coins are in staking, including some of the coins that were not fully vested. Now, we'll get to that in just a second here. But you can see that the reward rate of Solana is fairly high. It's more than double Ethereum's reward rate, more than 3 times, almost 4 times Binance's reward rate, almost 2.5 times Cardano's reward rate, double Sui's reward rate, slightly under Avalanche's, and basically where Aptos is. So it's kind of in line in the higher end of staking rewards, which is a good thing because this incentivizes more people to hold the coin to earn rewards. But we're going to talk about that in just a minute because the price of the coin, in my view, has elevated substantially. I mean, we covered this at the beginning of the video. Solana went from $8 in about a year and a half, 2 years ago, to $200 when the halving occurred. And so, are we going higher? I imagine so. I mean, this looks like a cup and a handle right here. And the handle, you guys know what happens after cup and handle. Boom, straight breakout to the upside. Now, I don't know if we're going to have downside before that yet, or we're going to just keep going straight up. But here's the issue with Solana that I get concerned about. There are a lot of bag holders and a lot of very rich people bag holders. Now, these rich people can hold for decades if they need to. And some of them probably will. But some of them also want out. Some of them want out. And they have probably not been able to get out. They know that we can get to $250. It's probably going to be pumped to $250, but or higher, potentially maybe $1,000. But here's the deal: when we start reaching those levels, the dump is going to be so significant because there's so many bag holders. This is a big issue for a lot of cryptos that performed well in 2020, 2021, and performed well in 2017 because everybody's just anticipating that they're going to do well again. And a lot of people didn't sell in 2021. They didn't sell in 2022. And so a lot of these people have been in this coin for so long and they just want out. They want out. And they're going to go get out, right? Raoul Pals of the world, they're going to sell their coin. Chamaths of the world, they're going to sell their coin if they're holding still Solana. They may not sell all of it, but remember, they got in at 25 cents or 50 cents. Those were the ICO prices. So if we go to $500, that's at like a 10,000x or something like that in just like 5 years. And if you don't think they're going to sell, they are, right? Because we're already seeing things like this. Solana Dex Drift is going to airdrop 100 million tokens to users of the ecosystem, right? So we're seeing a lot of Solana ecosystem like dropping coins, a lot of new NFTs popping up here and there. Solana open interest shed nearly $440 million as price slumped just 11%. I mean, that's not even a big slump in crypto. And open interest is already going away. I mean, we're at multi-year highs, right? And so I've explained, I believe that these millionaires and billionaires are going to be taking profits on the way up. And that's probably what we're seeing here. Are we going lower? Probably. But if we just keep in mind who's invested in the Solana ecosystem, all the money, all the institutions, all the backers, all the billionaires. And then we think about the hype cycle that hasn't even really began when I'm recording this around the halving of 2024. The hype cycle hasn't even begun. How high is Solana going to go? Potentially $1,000, right? And people are going to say, Cryptoviser, that's crazy, $1,000. Even if we 10x here, it's only $600 billion. When I'm recording this video, Ethereum's just around 400 billion. So if Ethereum goes over $1 trillion, Solana can definitely get to $500 billion. I'm not saying it's going to stay there, but it can get there. And so is this investable? I actually do think that Solana is investable this cycle, but with a caveat, at much lower prices, right? I personally am not even thinking about it until under $100. Under 100, I'll start thinking about it. That doesn't mean I'm necessarily going to buy it, but I'll start thinking about it. Because the other good thing about Solana, and this is really good though, but it's also a bad because we know that who's holding these coins. In the last cycle, a lot of coins were not yet vested. So a lot of these billionaires who bought in the ICO, they couldn't sell their coins until like a year or two after the launch. So a lot of these billionaires couldn't sell until the end of the bull market or early bear market. And by that point, they thought it was going to keep going higher, and it didn't. And we crashed fairly substantially. And so a lot of them are holding from the last cycle where they weren't fully vested. This cycle, most of the coins are in circulation. That's a good thing because we don't have to worry about these unlock situations that come up, and then people worried about there's going to be a dump in the price. But we still have to worry about a dump in the price because all these billionaires are holding these coins at very, very high multiples already. And when you multiply those multiples by the multiples that we're going to see this cycle potentially above the all-time record high of $250, this potentially is going to have a ripple effect and cause the price to crater. And that's what I'm a little bit worried about. Not just with Solana, a lot of the coins from 2020 and 2021, a lot of the coins that people didn't sell that they've been holding since 2017 or 2018. These people just went out. They went out in profit. And I think they're going to get that. But what is that going to mean for everybody else who isn't selling this cycle? They're going to be caught into the next cycle. So anyway, I want to know what you guys think about like my analysis of Solana. I mean, all the metrics look good. All the data and dashboards look good. All the stablecoin and fees look good. And even from a price charting standpoint, and you guys know I do not like charting. I'm not a chartist. I don't necessarily even believe that chartist is like a good technique for investing. But when I see a cup and handle pattern like this and on a macro scale zoomed out for multiple years, it looks really, really good. And just from a charting perspective, a cup and handle pattern typically has a breakout to the upside significantly higher than the previous high. And so, yeah, I do think it's investable. Do I hold any? No, still haven't held any since I started this channel. But I am looking for an entry point. Some people are going to say this is crazy, Cryptoviser. But again, under 100, I will start considering it. Doesn't mean I'm going to do it. I would say under 50 would definitely be a buy in my view, and probably just for a trade. Because remember, they're going to sell, so you have to sell before the billionaires do. That's my view for this cycle for Solana anyway. And remember, nothing I say is financial advice. I could be wrong, like I was wrong about Solana at $8, and now we're almost 20x that still. And so yeah, I was wrong, and I could be wrong again, but these are just my opinions, my strategy, and my thesis on the market. I will see you guys tomorrow. Give the video a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button if you made it to the end of this video. Let me know down below in the comments, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Crypto on.